Welcome to the CUDA, and we've got some things to show you here. We've done a little bit of work to it and some painting and got some assemblies done. Let me get my pointer, and we'll show you here what we've got so I don't end up blurring this camera. We've got the engine in it. It's glued in. It's not going anywhere unless I yank it out of there or drop it. I'll probably drop it first. But it's in there. We didn't have to do anything at all to the transmission and the bell housing other than mark it up. That's all we've done. See, I told you I dropped something. At least it wasn't the frame. So by using our fancy tool here, our cordless, and the sanding drum there, we were able to get inside this tunnel and carefully work it to where we can now slide this right over the bell housing. We've got some grinding marks in there, but I wasn't going to worry about it. A little too close to the camera there, Chris. There we go. But I wasn't going to worry about it because you're not going to see it. And we were able to clean it out a little bit more and not break through on the other side. So we're good there. It fits as Ravel intended this to fit, so we are rocking on that. We got manifolds on it. We were able to get the steering box in it. So we're not going to have Wi-Fi steering after all. We're going to have Wi-Fi ignition though, because I'm just not feeling them wires. I don't care how much I sit here and look at those manifolds. It's like, do I really want to run wires? Not even. So we're going to go with the Wi-Fi ignition instead of the steering, and I think we'll be all right. So that's all done. We're good. Happy about that. Get all that finished up. So once we got all that finished up, flip this bad puppy on over, and we got the underneath all taken care of. I was going to go with black underneath here like I normally do, but I thought, well, why not do something a little different? So we went with the gunmetal gray. Here we go. Gunmetal gray as the base color. And then I took some raw sienna here from Ceram Coat and just dusted all underneath here. Front to back, just dusted it all up. Then I went back with some burnt sienna, which is, the reddish brown, and just kind of hit it in areas where rust would gather up and form a party, like behind the wheels and around the shocks and around the frame connectors and the usual spots. And when that was all said and done, we went over the entire thing with nice black wash, so we could bring all that detail out that Ravel put in there for us. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it's perfect. I'm going for, like most of my builds, the daily driver kind of look. I don't want this dirtier than the Pornhub. I want this just, I don't want it clean, but, I don't want it all crappy, too crappy. As I said, a daily driver. So I think underneath here, I think it looks like a daily driver, and I think we're right at that point where, sometimes less is more. So, I can whip out my chalks and add a bunch more, but we're just going to leave it just like that. I think it looks pretty good. So when we got everything all sealed up, it was time to put the exhaust on. This is the exhaust that came with the kit. I modified the front pipe to fit those 383 manifolds. So this side was pretty easy. It was just a straight shot. We added a straight rod here. This side we had to get a little creative, so we put a little Wonka in there. Actually, this Wonka is from over here. We just moved it over there and blended that in there and made it up to the manifold, the driver's side here, and I think it looks pretty good. So once we got all that changed over and glued in place, we hit it with some Vallejo steel, and then the mufflers, and I think these are resonators, we hit with Model Air Chrome, which is like a bright aluminum. And then when it was all done, we just kind of rusted it up using the same colors on the frame. We used our raw sienna and burnt sienna, and just added some rust on there. And then we've got that in place. We went over to the rear axle and used the same colors. The gunmetal gray, the raw sienna, burnt sienna, black wash. Same thing on this. And then we added a drive shaft before we glued it in place, which is a natural, is it Vallejo natural steel? Yeah, Vallejo natural steel. Got that in place. And added our rear shocks. Still have to put the front ones on. But this is what you see here. I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks the part, and I think it looks pretty. Spiffy. Now, in my last video, a viewer mentioned he goes, you made this car convertible, but where's your frame stiffeners? And we joked around and got to thinking about it. It's like, you know what? He had a very good point. Where are my frame stiffeners? I mean, we're going to make this a convertible. Why not add stiffeners? It doesn't take that long. It only takes but a couple minutes. I took some C channel. Well, actually, what I did first, get online, find an E-body that was on a rotisserie so I could, hopefully a convertible one, so I could see where Chrysler put the frame stiffeners in, and found one. And we put our frame stiffeners in. So that's just C channel, and even though the real one had box channel, we used C channel in this case. I think it's good enough. And then we added our frame stiffeners, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a nice bit of detailing on the frame that somebody, when I'm done planted 6 foot under, if they ever flip this over, and it would be like, hey, look, man, that dude put in some frame stiffeners. So we got those put in there. So that's the story underneath here. I add a little bit of a red ink to the pan to give it a little bit of a red flavor, since these didn't have a drain plug. You had to drop that whole pan to change the filter. And if you're as sloppy as I was, you always got it running down your arm and all over your chest, and pretty much took a bath in it. So the pan was usually a little on the red side, so we added some red ink here, just to, as I said, give a bit of a red flavor to it. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So now we got all this done. Once I get the front shocks on, it'll be time to flip this puppy over, start working on the interior, getting that all done up. We'll probably go with some carpeting in this since we have a convertible. So that's going to be our next step, putting that interior together. We need an air cleaner, because the air cleaner I have for this is like way wrong. We have a 68 air cleaner, and it's not going to work with this car. So I got online, found a guy on eBay that sells 70 air cleaners, big block for this car, this engine. So there she is. She looks pretty good. It's a nice looking air cleaner. I didn't see any crap in it. Didn't see any air bubbles in it. It's nice and smooth. He only charged me $3. I didn't think that was a whole lot of money. You send his card in here. Here's his card. If you want to check him out and see what he has. I don't know the guy. I don't know him from Adam, and I don't know Adam, so he's just a total stranger to me. But it looks like he has some pretty nice looking air cleaners. I don't know what else he sells, but you can check him out if you want, if you're looking for some. Guy seems pretty cool. I mean, he has 2 names, so I don't think he's too bad of a person. There's his card, there's his name, and you can check him out and see if he has what you're looking for. I didn't think $3 was a whole lot of money, but anyway, we got the air cleaner. So I also went online and got the graphic for the pie tin here. So we'll put that graphic in Paint Shop Pro. We'll shrink her on down there and print her back out on decal paper, and then we'll have her engine call out for the air cleaner, and that'll look pretty spiffy there. Got that done. Color, body color. This was a bright red. It reminds me of the color my Charger was. That real bright red that has a lot of orange in it. In fact, depending on the light, my car would look orange sometimes. So we took the time to kind of dig through our paint drawer and try to find some really bright red. Don't have any in a spray can, so I will have to do this with the airbrush. I'm too lazy to buy any. So we have this Tester's acrylic red. I threw this bottle in my paint shaker, which is still chugging away, by the way. The real cheap one I showed you a while ago that I had to fix as soon as it came in. She works great. Still doing a good job mixing up the paint. Anyway, I threw this in there because it was all pink and white. And we might use this. It's a bright red. Not as bright as I like it to be. It could be a little brighter, but so we might use this one. And it's acrylic, so we can shoot it in the house. We don't have to worry about the weather. Then I have this Ceramcoat lipstick red, or no, passion red, and this is really bright. So we might go with this because this is really closer. This is a red with a lot of orange in it, and this is very closer to her car, I think, based on the video I have of her car at the car show. And it's also really close to my Charger that was really, really bright. So we might go with this passion red, which is kind of befitting for Angelique. So we might use this too. It'll be one of these two. They're both acrylic. I'm leaning towards this one, but yeah, so we got our color picked out. It's going to be one of them too. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we'll have another video for tomorrow. I don't mean to blitz everybody with all these videos, but we'll have another one. I'll show you the kits we're going to be using for the Route 66 and the Honey West. Now, a lot of guys asked me about the Charlie's Angels Mustang, what kit I'm using. So we're going to talk about that too. Show you the kits I'm going to be using for that. So, alright guys, that's it for this video. We're up to almost 13 minutes, so it's long enough. Okay, take care. We will see you tomorrow.